Let's get paid, y'all. Live dogs in the mix.
What's going on, guys? Live Dogs MMA here, and we are back at it. We have UFC Seattle, which has been a disaster of a card. I think we've had a total of 6 or 7 fights that did not come to fruition. A couple of the guys did stay on the card, so that's nice. But, you know, I'll be honest with you, all the fights I really had bet already and was looking forward to have been pulled off. I finally was, you know it's a bad card when you're looking forward to Billy Goff versus Adam Fugit, right? Which I was. And so we've lost on that one as well. Just briefly to touch on last week, my original parlay hit, second parlay did not. You guys know I gave you the live dog of the card, who was Jared Cannonier. I hit that. I also hit the most significant strikes and the inside the distance prop, which was plus 550. We got Edmund Shabazian by first round KO. And the lock hit, who was Delgado. So pretty good week. Overall, we went 8-4 in picks, so hopefully we can do better next time, this time, right? So without further ado, let's bust it wide open. First fight is going to be Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael Sequeira. I'm going to take Modestas Bukauskas. I'm not impressed with Sequeira, or however you say it. I just think that Modestas is a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a vet. He pushes a better pace, and he's probably a little bit more well-rounded. So we'll take him. Then we have Nick Klein versus Mansour Abdul Malik. Mansour Abdul Malik just seems like the better prospect at this time, judging off of what we have to go by. I think we have to go ahead and stick with the odds here, which are pretty high. They have him at like minus 800 or something like that. Wouldn't bet it, but I'm going to pick Mansour Abdul Malik. Keep in mind, though, he could gas, and we might see a late submission, but probably not. Then we have Ricky Simone versus Javid Basharat. This is kind of the same way. Javid Basharat may overexert himself, may overextend himself, and end up getting taken down, and we could see Ricky Simone rallying back. But I don't think he's going to rally back. I don't think he wins this fight, and I'm going to take Javid Basharat. But, I don't have the biggest hopes for Basharat at this time. But I think he wins this fight. And then we have Nursultan Rozaboyev versus Eric Mikonico. And you're thinking, who the hell is that? Yeah, so was I. Looked into it. I don't know why he's in the UFC. I think Jared Cannonier did mention him, so they trained together. So, he could be a little bit better than we're able to see at this time. Keep in mind that a lot of these fights are brand new. So I'm doing the best I can for you, and that's why I'm speeding through this. And my personal take is I wouldn't even bet this card. I don't even know if I'd watch it, but yeah, Rozaboyev should get it done. And then we have one fight that I am excited about. I've mentioned this before. If you followed me, I am a big Ian Cutelaba fan, and Ian Cutelaba's taking on Ibo Aslan. I've been waiting for a spot to fade Ibo Aslan, and I have done it in all of his fights, and it hasn't went my way. He absolutely sucks. The guy's dog shit. I think that Ian Cutelaba, who is a plus 135 underdog right now, is one of the best dogs on this card. Ibo is not on his level. This guy is not even on UFC level. He's fucking horse shit. And he's going to get knocked out in the first round. So I'm going to take Ian Cutelaba very confidently. And then we have Andre Fili versus Miguel Costa. This is a close fight. You've got two guys who get finished a lot, and two guys who have been knocked down many times, which tells me it's probably not going to go over 2.5 rounds. Plus 2.5, I think, is actually plus money right now, so look into that. If not, check it out, because I think it's not going to go to the decision. That being said, as close as it is, I'm going to trust Fili one more time to get the W here, and I'm going to take Andre Fili. If you like Costa, though, I'm not mad at you. And then we have Alonzo Minifield taking on Julius Walker. And if you're thinking, who's Julius Walker? Well, I was thinking the same thing. Looked over him. This fight was just made as well. Yeah, I think that Alonzo Minifield has way too much experience. And, is probably going to get the W here. I'd like to have some faith in the new guy, but we have to see it before we're going to put our money there. So for the sake of picks, I will take Alonzo Minifield. And then we have Gene Silva versus Melsik Bagdasaryan. This is going to be a competitive fight, and I really want you guys to understand that when you're betting a guy like Gene Silva, who's really good and who is my pick, but he's going to end up being like minus 600 or something like that. That's crazy stuff. The fight is going to be much more competitive than that. So, we'll try to find a spot somewhere in this fight where we can make a solid bet, but just betting him money line, not the best. I do have one idea, though, and we'll get to it soon. But I'm going to take Gene Silva. And then we have Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. And so this is my other idea. I'm actually going to parlay Gene Silva and Gene Matsumoto, and that will give us a minus 20 overall parlay, which is a pretty good solid play. I think that Gene Silva and Gene Matsumoto are both going to get done here, and I'm calling that the Genie parlay, okay? I've got another video up if you want to take a look at that. Yeah, pretty solid, man. I think you got to get on these guys now, though. Don't wait till Friday, because I think the lines are going, I believe that the lines are going to really jump and push into the favor of the favorites. That being said, Rob Font could be a sleeper pick here. You can never count the guy out, but I think he's going to go the way. I did have him in the Kyler Phillips fight, but, Gene Silva's not Kyler Phillips, completely different fight. So I think that this one is the one where he's really going to start to fade and look his age. So I'm going to take Gene Matsumoto. Rob Font can hurt him at the distance, but Gene Matsumoto is really good at any distance to fight, any way the fight goes. He's also got a little bit of wrestling, which Rob Font has trouble with. So I'm going to take Gene Matsumoto. And then we have Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. This is another one where I saw Anthony Hernandez, and I hammered it. I hammered that line, and I'm still confident he's going to win this fight. But this is one of the underdogs I did look into. You can never count out Brendan Allen. He looked really good whenever he was facing Imavov in that first round. I almost picked him in that fight, but I didn't. But I am a Brendan Allen guy. I'm a Brendan Allen believer, and I think he can definitely win this fight. But I'm going to give the slight edge to Anthony Hernandez. Also, they fought before, and Anthony Hernandez won. I think Anthony Hernandez is just a little tougher, man. Just got more dog in him and can contend everywhere. Unless Brendan Allen is able to get the upper hand in some of the grappling exchanges or land a really good solid body shot because Anthony Hernandez is weak to the body, then you might want to, look at Brendan Allen live as the fight goes. But I believe that Anthony Hernandez will struggle a bit in the first and then run away with this fight. So Anthony Hernandez will be my pick. The last fight we have is our main event, which is Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. I saw this and instantly thought it's Song Yadong all day. And I'm still going to stick by that pick as well. But I do think Henry Cejudo is very live here. Henry Cejudo lost to Aljamain Sterling, and he damn near won the fight. A lot of people thought he did, so you've got to keep that in mind. And then he fought Merab Dvalishvili, who's the champion now. So, those aren't really bad losses. And I believe if he fought them a few years ago, like before he retired, he probably would have won those, especially the Aljo fight, right? And now he's taking on Song Yadong, who's always been a guy who's kind of steadily growing and steadily climbing up the ranks. But he's lost his two big opportunities to really break through. And he could definitely do that again here. But I think he's catching Henry Cejudo at the right time. And working with the alpha male and those guys, I think his wrestling is going to be good enough because Henry Cejudo's hasn't looked as great as it once did. So I'm going to tentatively pick Song Yadong here. And those are my picks for the card, y'all. Again, I like Gene Matsumoto and Gene Silva for a parlay. My lock, I'll give it to you either tomorrow or the next day. And my underdog as of right now is going to be Ian Cutelaba. I think that he's going to beat the hell out of this Igbo guy. This Igbo guy is not good, and he's had some really weird wins. Just not a fan of him. Even if he wins here, he's not good. He's got to go. So I wouldn't put my money on it at all, or I'd put my money on Ian Cutelaba. That's it. Everything else will be out for you guys tomorrow. Appreciate the love, appreciate the hate, appreciate the discourse. Let me know who you have down below. And until I see you next time, let's get paid.